So here's the first level inside the tower, and while this is one of the more colorful levels, I'm going to be using the most drab armor.
The brown armor?
The brown armor.
How did I know?
So now you're in. Each floor of this tower is a world ruled by one of the fallen angels. The first floor is Ezekiel's realm. She lives here with all of her so-called children. Your first job is to capture her and return her to heaven. I'll be praying for you. At long last, Enoch enters the tower. Each of the Watchers lives on a floor within the tower, along with their worshippers. The lowest level is reigned over by Ezekiel. Enoch enters the world inhabited by Ezekiel and her children in order to locate and bind her as the next step in his mission to save humanity.
Yep, so here we are, first level of the tower. Everything is watercolor.
That's cool looking. Do you know what's...
Also, these enemies, Souls of the Beloved, these will show up pretty frequently. They can't hurt you. They just, like, attach themselves to you, and then you have to, like, move the stick and tap buttons to get them off. Otherwise, you just kind of, like... You basically, walk very slowly, and you can still attack, but your attack's like this really half-hearted, like, it doesn't work.
So they basically stun lock you.
Pretty much.
Crappier.
One hit of anything will kill them.
He wasn't trying very hard.
Well, no. Default blob monster. But yeah, they do that. Where, like...
That seems annoying.
It's pretty annoying. They don't show up very frequently, but when they do, you should target them first. Also, look at that face.
I was about to mention, is that...
Yep.
Is that Ezekiel? What the fuck?
It's a kid on a Nephilim.
I sense the presence of a little girl. She's looking for you, Enoch.
So, every level of the tower has similar enemies. Like, these guys are basically the blob guys wielding weapons. However, these are, like, specific to this realm and this fallen angel. They usually just take, like, the first couple letters of their name. So these are edges. They're a bit more powerful, and when disarmed, they actually get some cool moves, depending on where you are. So, like, keep an eye on that guy who doesn't have a weapon anymore, because he's going to do his really annoying AoE attack. Right here. Aside from that, they just kick and punch. But they actually have some super armor when they kick and punch, so you're going to actually have to, like, counter them.
I saw what you tried to do there. Too bad it didn't work.
Nope.
You were going to pimp slap him in the air as he jumped down, weren't you?
Yep.
Try it again.
Actually, I'm trying to hit him up in the air to get him out of his combo and counter him. Also, this is level from the demo. Also, depth perception. It's a thing.
Well, that is the thing we were talking about last episode.
The platform... This is really where the platforming starts. Like, it's really weird, because the art style is really nice, but, like, it's hard to figure out where you are spatially.
I can see what you mean, yeah.
Fortunately, though, they're nice enough to give you a shadow. If it's dark, your shadow will be light. If it's light, your shadow will be dark. So you always have a dot on the floor. Also, I hate these guys. These are like my least favorite enemy in the entire game. They're basic.
Are they obscenely annoying?
They're like the Sarges, where they just move away from you and, you know, nickel and dime you to death. However, when you disarm them, they get this really annoying attack where they fly around, and I find that I get hit by it a lot.
You can show it off here?
Yeah, like that. You see that move?
Yeah.
They do that all the time. Thankfully, though, they're pretty harmless so long as you keep your distance. Or keep them in a combo.
That's still really cool.
Yep.
I like how you tried to charge it and shot him in the face.
Hey. They're really not making it easy for us. Yeah. We're gonna be a while. Well, depends on what weapons he steals. Talk to you later.
That's a hint, isn't it?
Hmm?
Depends on what weapons he steals.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, here's Azazel again. You actually get to see his head.
So.
And that lip
come.
sync.
That's so bad.
Yep, so now we fight him again. Additionally, one thing to note is that while if you win these, you break off a section of their armor, and that will help you with the time when you actually fight them to the death. Because I'm using the whole stage select thing, even if I win, the next time I see them, they will have full armor. So.
Yeah, but you're doing the stage select thing because it's just easier to show things off, so it makes sense.
See how I hit him right there? Slam to the ground hit. That's the annoying thing about the Gale.
It's time you learned your place.
Also, this is where the levels start getting really long. Looks nice, though.
Shot. We're gonna kill some people if that actually becomes a thing. Because this is oh my god, that was cool.
What?
The tone shift?
Oh, yeah.
That was really cool.
This place is probably the most simple, but it uses color and tone more effectively.
Yeah.
And then 2D section. Oh no,
It's pretty minimalist.
arena. So this is where the arenas start to come in. They're all the same size, and they just throw a whole bunch of dudes at you. You kill the dudes, you move. It's also where the combat gets the most fun once they introduce the third weapon, which we're going to see later in this part. But yeah, did you see that Ezek spinning?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another, like, minion specific move.
That cool top thing it just did?
Yep. They're just tougher moves, but they replace them with level specific moves.
Which I'm okay with. I mean, it's better than the standard recolor a lot of games go with. You know, it's like, well, here's a spider and here's a blue spider. I mean, I get it. I get what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it does keep things a bit more interesting.
Also,
at least in terms of enemy variety. You are getting your ass kicked.
yeah, I think I die here. It's because I wasn't blocking, because if you play this game on anything, like, if you play it on normal and you're just good at dodging, you don't have to block, like, ever. And the block itself is really weird. Like, you can't move when it happens, and it's both really good and really bad at the same time.
It was low health.
Yep. When you're low on health, red borders the screen, and you hear a heartbeat.
Enoch runs around in a thong.
It's like a Samurai Jack thing.
I don't know, I'm pretty sure Samurai Jack could have taken this down.
Probably. He's using like a magic sword. As opposed to
Using
these colossal hacksaws.
Using a weapon of God.
Oh no, I guess I don't die.
Getting pretty close though.
So here's a 2D platforming segment. Do we even have to mention that this looks gorgeous?
Because this looks really gorgeous. Mention it or not, this is beautiful. What the hell?
Stand near this object and purify it to receive one of
So
God's
these things
weapons.
start showing up about this point. They usually show up in the platforming segments.
Which weapon you receive depends on the object.
Pretty much that. You know, it shows the weapon, you purify it, you get that weapon. That's all there is to it.
The cloud tsunamis.
Ezekiel abandoned heaven
Also, the big
for
hearts give
attribute
full
of
health.
this world. However, this love of hers has grown into an obsession.
Or at least I think that's full health. I know there's an orb thing later in the game that gives full health.
So you run on the awesome cloud things.
Yep. Except for when she does that, then they run backward.
Bitch.
Also fucked up there. I'm trying to
Alright.
get this great flame high in the corner.
Oh yeah, I see.
And you have to be fast.
I can't get you, so I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah, there we go.
An obsession that will eventually
Nice.
destroy the very world she adores.
That was kind of cool.
She switches the direction of the sun here a whole bunch of times to try and mess with you.
Doing a pretty good job. Messing with me a lot. It's gorgeous though.
Yet another arena. I do believe after this is where we get our third weapon. It's either after this or it's another 3D sort of platforming thing.
Cool top thing. That was awesome. I like this room.
It's supposed to resemble a cave. Because in the last section we like jumped on those clouds and we ran to a cave.
It sorta does. I wouldn't overly say so, but
Considering the abstract nightmare that is this level.
yeah, gorgeous. I mean, don't get me wrong, but these guys take a lot more punishment.
Yeah. The humans with the egg thing on their head, they're called martyrs, and they're way easier. Though I do think they get a little bit smarter as you go, dodging more attacks.
Fuck that guy up. That's still really cool.
Yep. The Gale enemies have a very tough time dealing with your ranged attacks. But once again, doesn't stun them, so they can totally do that attack and get you out of it.
So what you're saying is they're just mean.
Yeah. Because if you steal their weapon, they're going to start using that attack, and that means you're going to have the Gale, because you stole it from them. So, yeah. Yep, here's where we get our third weapon. And depth perception.
No, see, I don't blame you for falling into that one. This is weird.
Also, these sections you jump on turn red and fall down. And here we go.
What the? I think I went to high school with that guy. The fists?
You'll see.
At last, the final weapon. That's a veil. Go on, take it.
If he can do that, why doesn't he just stop them himself?
Because he's way too powerful. God has basically forbidden their intervention.
This creature wields a veil.
So yeah, the
He
veil.
needs divine
It's
weapon.
really big, it's really powerful, and it's easily my favorite weapon in the game.
Look at them
It also hard
consciousness.
counters the Gale. Which you wouldn't
Thing you
believe.
picked up a Gale.
Which you wouldn't believe, because look at this. He can't get anywhere near me, and I can just spam him from long range.
It's a shield? That's cool. What the fuck?
It's lightning gauntlets.
Oh my god! That's really cool.
This is pretty much the best weapon. It's dodge maneuver, you shield and dash, as you saw there.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, if you get hit by anything, it gets blocked. This weapon has the best defense out of all weapons in the game. It has like pretty good comboing, and it just kills things really fast. And
As I can see,
unfortunately, it's gone.
Why'd you lose it?
Because I had to steal that guy's weapon.
You didn't have to. You could have murdered him.
This guy right here is using the Gale too.
And then you punched him in the face.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
That
was cool.
that is the power of the defensive guard. Also, it has this really good air combo you can do, which hits 4 times.
I like how that guy's got a good ground smash.
Doesn't every video game villain at some point?
Well, yeah, but still, his is good.
So now that we have all the weapons, I can discuss the rock, paper, scissors thing. Essentially, the Gale beats Arch, the Veil beats the Gale, and then Arch beats Veil. But what I've found from actually, like, in terms of damage stats, that's just how it goes. But in terms of how characters act, Gale destroys the Arch. Arch destroys the Gale because the characters who use Gale typically fly, and they typically try to stay away from you. So if you get them in a combo, they can't do anything. Veil typically destroys the Arch because, like, they try to get you in a combo, you just block it and punch them in the face. And enemies with the Veil are too slow to get near you if you're using the Gale. Like, I mean, you suffer in terms of damage, but it just, like, makes sense strategically.
You think that's why they did the damage thing?
I don't know. Also, this move. While doing it, you have invulnerability frames, and it does tons of damage.
I'm okay if you use more of this.
Also, you'll notice that there are little halos over the enemies' heads.
Yes.
That tells you the enemy's mood, I think it is. It has something to do with how aggressive they play, with, like, blue being really, really relaxed, and red being really ferocious. Blocked.
Good thing, too. You're pretty low on health.
Yeah, I'm still not doing so hot.
That was cool.
Also, camera, what you doing back there? But yeah, the Halo thing, I will be honest, I don't know exactly what it means. It doesn't usually come to play. Because it has to do with, like, this power-up you find that's a Halo. It's weird.
We're getting messed up.
See, but here's the thing. I'm pretty sure this is where I die. If it is, I can show you the other gameplay mechanic, which is completely relevant to that. Also, that the guard dash is really good. Pretty much blocks everything. Yeah, there we go. So if you die, screen goes white, and you need to button mash your way to life. If you do so correctly, you get, I think, 3 or 4 hits, like sections of armor back, and you're returned to the game. But each time you do this, it gets harder to do. Also, you see that halo? That's what allows you to see the halos over their heads.
He looks mad now.
So your health bar is actually like 5 or 6 segments, but in practicality it's like 20-something, because you can die multiple times over and over again. However, if that occurs once, you can't get a G rank. Just because that's how it is.
What was that slow-mo thing you just did there?
No, that was telling me that he's dead, and that all the enemies in this area are gone.
Oh.
Also, now we're in hell, but not really. Fire looks nice.
Shot.
Also, all the red stuff in this area will either move or fall, so watch your feet. And this brings me to the weird thing about this game, is that for how much combat it has, the platforming is way more memorable, because you're constantly like getting new weird stuff to platform off of. Whereas, like, the combat doesn't really advance from where it is now. We don't get any more weapons and we don't get any more moves. So, if you know how to use these weapons already, this is the peak.
To be fair, this is really interesting.
The thing is, though, that the platforming just doesn't control as well as the combat does. So, while this game is more platformer than it is, like, Devil May Cry hack and slash, it really doesn't control like it should, given that. But again, all of this is completely forgivable because of how nice it looks. Take a shot. Also, another arena.
Oh, look at that. You're blocking. I think I'll just punch you in the face.
It's really effective. But yeah, right now I'm trying to focus down the Gale because I get the damage bonus, and then I can turn that against the Archwielder. That said, it's really annoying because the Archwielder wants to get up in your face, and the Gale guy wants to stay as far away from you as possible.
That block is really good.
Yep. And now that I have that, pretty much everything falls into place. So long as he doesn't do that.
Which he's going to do with impunity.
I hate that stupid dolphin. I have the arch. See, it's like somehow the arch beats these guys, and it just doesn't make much sense, although it does stun lock them like crazy.
Considering you just saw slap the giant demonic gorilla thing.
I think they might be Kappa. Like, they have that weird duck face thing and the hair. I don't know. Is made by the Japanese. Also, they hit like trucks. They have
I would be surprised if they
didn't. By the way, that ground pound. Oh, yeah, see, the eye closes a little bit more. Anyway, that ground pound can hit you anywhere on the stage, so long as you're touching the ground. So,
that was kind of cool.
You have to jump, else you're going to take damage.
I noticed you have the ground pound as well, though.
No. No, I don't.
What was that, then?
That's just the final part of that combo. By the way, the lightning can hit enemies, too. It doesn't have the stun effect that theirs does, and it doesn't hit everything, it just hits in that radius. Also, that is the best move in the game. Just strong attack, weak attack, weak attack, weak attack, weak attack. And it gives you armor, and it kills things. It's great.
Oh, wow, that's cool looking.
Also, the Veil is the absolute best weapon to have against the Watcher fights.
Because it hits like a monster?
Because it hits like a monster. And because whenever they're doing attacks, they always have like armor and invulnerability and stuff like that beforehand. but they lose it after. So they're pretty invulnerable most of the time. So having something that does a lot of damage in a short period of time is the best way to go. That, and you can still hit them with that strong weak attack move, and it hits them pretty much the entire way.
Like a truck.
Yes. Also, this hidden area has that, which is a full health, and a great one. Which they still haven't actually gone into, you know, what the flames do.
I assume that comes later?
Yep, next level. Next level is the last time that we actually... Yeah, look at that.
Thank God he can snap his fingers, otherwise you'd be boned.
Yeah, you actually take a little bit of damage when you fall to your death. Anyway, the next level is the last, like, gameplay bit. After that, there's no more tricks left. It's just getting through the rest of the game. Also, here's Sariel's face.
Oh my God, it's David Bowie.
Can stop me.
That's right, David Bowie.
David Bowie's a fallen angel?
And you're surprised.
Not really. I mean, I saw Labyrinth.
Once again, best music in the game. Also, just spoiler for his boss fight, Veil is his weakness. I don't figure this out until, like, halfway through. Do you see how many times I'm hitting him? And the best part, with the Veil, you can actually block their attacks. There's like no downside to using this thing.
That was cool. It's really good if you enjoy punching angels in the crotch.
I love the line delivery on some of these.
It's pretty top notch, I'll give him that much.
Not like that lip sync.
No, that's terrible.
See, the problem with having a Veil, though, is that you don't have an air dash, and you can't float. So you just gotta be good at platforming.
It's a good trade-off, though, in exchange for that block.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems more practical in combat.
Yeah.
In terms of platforming, I'd almost want to say the Gale would be best. Because of that air dash.
Yeah. I think there's supposed to be sort of a or like, not a rock, paper, scissors, but like a trade-off sort of thing, where it's like, Veil's really good at combat, but awful at platforming. Gale's really good at platforming, but awful at combat. And the Arch is just kind of okay at everything. Also, if you don't jump on the right platforms as her, you fall to your death immediately.
Follow the girl. She will be the lamp that lights
You'll actually
the way.
see this as we go. If I jump over a platform that she like didn't explicitly tell me to land on, it just falls.
Hurry, over here.
Also, this part doesn't really have much of a purpose.
Well, means you're friends with a Nephilim.
Friends with a girl on an Nephilim.
Well, she's probably friends with a Nephilim.
Nephilim's still kind of an abomination.
Well, I mean, abomination's a strong word. He may be an unholy offspring, but... Also, I thought Nephilim were angels and demons.
This way.
No, I think it's just... I think the loose I think what it's supposed to be is just angels with anybody that's not an angel. But people like to be edgy and have it be, oh, it's an angel and a demon, and it's so conflicted. Whereas in most things which don't have demons being a major part, it's just angels and demons. It's like, oh, well, they're an abomination because they exist. Which, to be fair, the next 2 levels are all about the Nephilim, and it's very clear why they're an abomination just for existing.
Is it the blob monster?
No, it's a little bit, more drastic.
I look forward to it.
Yep.
These guys really start to hold their own.
Yeah. You gotta learn that guard move, which doesn't sound like... It's like, oh, well, duh, obviously guard. But, like, the guard move has no dodge capability, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's not like Devil May Cry where you can dodge roll, and it's like, oh, well, that's kind of vaguely related to not taking damage, or Ninja Gaiden where you can just flat out roll out of your guard. It's just like, if you're guarding, you can't do anything else. And to be fair, guarding with the Veil, usually a good idea. Guarding with everything else, probably not a very good idea. You should probably just move out the way.
Did you just...
Yes.
In terms of a spectacle fighter, this is pretty good.
See, but that's the thing, is that as a spectacle fighter, this is it.
I know,
which is kind of a bummer, because it looks really cool.
I understand that this is the extent of it, but it's really cool.
Also, time for a bit of backstory.
You're Enoch, right? My name's Nana. Sin told me all about you. You're here to help the Nephilim, right?
Huh?
They're always in so much pain. And always so sad. And they're like that forever.
Is the
Next
tower
thing
made
I
of
know,
Nephilim?
They eat
No.
each other and get bigger and
Just
bigger
listen to the girl.
until they burst into flames. Not even Ishtar could help them. And she was famous. She tried, but they say in the end, she burned up with them. But you're going to bring Ishtar back, aren't you? What's wrong? Why are you so quiet?
So there you go. Also, here's the boss.
Enoch, behind you.
What the? The
So
hell
yeah.
is that?
Nephilim will eat each other and just get bigger and bigger until they're giant multi-fangled monstrosities made of fire.
Like, do they just not have a choice in the matter?
Enoch,
Yeah, they are evil.
you are the key to Ishtar's resurrection.
It seemed very evil.
Nope. Not till they start eating each other.
Hey, we're almost there. We met up with his child, too. You know, you worry too much.
Yeah, God, come on.
They'll be fine.
Everything will be
Posted.
fine.
Good thing you got that.
Yeah, I need it.
You needed the hell out of that.
So, I'm not actually sure what these guys are weak to. I've tried the Arch, and I've tried the Veil, and I think I stuck with the Veil.
The hell?
What's wrong, Enoch? You're drenched.
She just pulled an umbrella out of nowhere.
Oh, this? It's called an umbrella. One of humanity's shards of wisdom. You should try some of their contraptions. You never know, you might laugh.
Dude, don't interrupt Satan.
Well, well. Since when did you get so bold? Go forth.
So are these an enemy type or what?
Eventually, but for now these are just a boss. Fula and Rula. These guys are really annoying because they have, like, ultra armor all the time unless they're stunned. And being a big enemy in a video game, guess what they do?
They charge you.
Yep. They charge into each other, they stun each other. If they charge into the wall, they just stun themselves. And then you get to hit them. And I'm pretty sure the Veil is not the best weapon for this. Although it does block their shout when they get back up. So these things, these weapon wisps, they can't hurt you, and they're color-coded. So blue is Arch, yellow is Veil, green is Gale. And these pretty much show up in every boss fight, just in case your weapon gets broken. It's also a much better alternative to purifying your weapon, because you're completely invulnerable while the cutscene plays. Also, if you move too fast, they move right past each other, slamming the wall, and they're not stunned for as long. And their shout does damage, which is actually really annoying.
Those are the red ones.
Those are just regular wisps.
Oh.
You know, they hit you and do a little bit of damage, but they kind of stun on you.
Now, can you block their charge?
No. Even the Veil can't block their charge. If you block it with anything else, your weapon will get damaged. Oh yeah, that's something else I should bring up. If you block an attack and you're hit by several consecutive attacks, I think it's upwards of 5 and 6 for the Arch, and I think it's like 3 or 4 for the Veil, or not Veil, Gale. Your weapon will take damage. And if it takes too much damage, it will break, and you will be without a weapon for a while. The Gale is like 8 to 10, I think it is, in terms of durability. So it takes a lot to break it, and it takes a lot to break its guard. So it usually doesn't take damage at the same rate as the other ones. Additionally, if you get hit by like just a lot of damage all at once, that will also damage your weapon. So getting hit by the charge will damage your weapon, and if it's low enough, break it. Also, smart move on this boss fight, just focus one of them down and then kill off the other one, because once there's only one, they're just going to do the charge attack over and over again. When there's two, they can do this, and it's actually really hard to dodge.
I can see it's sort of messing you up.
Yeah. I don't like this boss fight, I will be quite frank. At this point in the game, there's not really any tricks you can do, so just kind of beat on them with the 3 weapons. Till they die. That's kind of it.
Do they deal damage to each other when they charge, do you know?
Nope, they don't.
That's...
You can actually see how much damage they have, or how much health they have left by the armor on them, just like everything else in the game. Which is really nice, because everything in the game has either armor or it's color-coded in some way to indicate how much health it has. But yeah, when they crash into each other, they do, or they get stunned for longer. So yeah, that's this boss fight.
I'd imagine you would want to use the Arch, just because it's you could hit.
Yeah, probably. I think they might honestly be weak to the Gale, because the dodge move is really good for getting out of the way of their charge, and it hits a bajillion times. But, I don't know. I didn't try it in this boss fight, I just stuck with the Gale because I really liked it. Although I think near the end I switched to the Arch. Hard to tell if it was actually effective, if only because, yeah, here I am, switching to the Arch. Hard to tell if it's actually better, or if it's just because I did so much damage already with the Veil. Oh yeah, when one of them gets low enough, they'll start to do this. Where they just charge immediately, but who cares? It just stuns them that much faster. And there's one of them dead, and as soon as one of them is dead, it becomes way easier to kill the other. Also, that shout has ridiculous range.
No problem. Everything's fine.
But now there's only one. Him slamming into the wall does the same, or stuns him for as long as the other guy. So, then you just smack him until he's dead. Also, something cool, when you guard with the arch, the rotating blade arrangement in the middle just forms together into a single diamond. And when you block or guard with the gale, all of the little projectiles go together in front of you to form a shield.
Well,
Once again, not the most exciting boss fight.
not. I was about to say, not really.
Yeah, these guys eventually become normal enemies, but it's only to like the second to last level or the last level.
I'd imagine at that point they're a lot easier to kill than this.
Not really, because you don't scale up, remember? You don't get any more abilities or weapons between now and then, so...
But they don't get weaker?
They do get weaker. And when they become normal enemies, they're not nearly as strong, and they don't do this charge move all the time. They actually get other moves that they do, because they're not in this big circular arena.
What was that halo over?
Oh, that's the thing that you can pick up to see the mood of the enemies, remember?
Ah, right.
Yeah. It actually shows up visually on your character, too. When you pick one up, it goes over his eyes. Makes him look like Cyclops from the X-Men. There we go. Done.
And Demon Pig's dead.
Let's see what I got. Even though I died like 1 billion times. S rank.
Oh, you suck.